is good? What is good, everybody? We are back. This is the Fleet Repeat Back podcast. Got my guy CWO4, Donnie Townsend in the building.
What
Warren,
up,
what's
what up, what
good?
up?
What's good with
What's
it
up, my
today,
guy?
man?
Hey,
Man,
man.
chilling, chilling.
Enjoying this veteran's life, man.
It's rough. It's
It's
rough.
rough, man. But,
What?
I think the further we get out there, just like coming in the Navy, and that's what people don't realize, like, that same kind of uncomfortableness and scariness of going into the Navy, you feel that same uncomfortableness getting back out of the Navy.
100%.
Ain't that crazy? It's like
Yeah.
coming in, it was like, oh, it's a whole new world. Stuff about to change. It's about to be a different way of life. And then here we was, for me, 25 years later, I was feeling that same anxiety, like, what is this going to be about?
Nah,
Yeah.
100%. Going back to even just like going to boot camp, like I remember getting off that bus and like, man, what the fuck did I get myself into?
Yeah,
These
yeah. As soon
motherfuckers
as we
started
heard the
cursing
yelling,
at me, screaming at
yeah.
me. And I don't know if they did y'all like this, but for us, they showed us a video of what boot camp looks like on
Mhm.
the way there. And it was like, it looked like you were having fun and like, this is what you're gonna learn. And it was like
A
inspirational shit.
utopia.
So, yeah. And then when you get off, they just start screaming. You're like, what in the fuck did I get myself into, man?
Yeah, and then I was halfway because I think we got there in the middle of the night. So I was
I
kind
did
of,
too. Yep.
and then, I was thinking the other day when I first got in boot camp, I was like, who comes up with these concepts of how to design? Like, you think we're reshaping people's way of thinking and getting them into a military mindset, and then they come up with, all the concepts of how we should eat, you know, and you got to think of like how did they come up with the playbook to design everything piece by piece, brick by brick?
Yeah,
You
100%.
know, even from a weirder aspect, who say because they could have easily designed the showers to be in stalls, right? Who say nah? We don't want no individual stalls. I
Yeah.
want to put all of these naked grown guys in a circle, like.
That was the words too, man. That was
Yeah,
the
and
words.
yeah, especially if you an introvert and you ain't into, nothing crazy. Like what you like, that's the most uncomfortable thing ever. Like a whole bunch of dudes behind you, in front of you, on the side. And it's like, what? Who think about that now? Who said, nah, I know the way we need to design these showers. These guys need to be in a circle
That's
with no
crazy.
doors, no walls, no privacy.
And the
You
worst
know?
is you be looking up shower and you're like, man, I just hurry up and get out. Try not to look at
Yeah,
nobody.
yeah,
'Cause
but you got some people in there that ain't doing it. And depending on your
yeah,
background, it's like we might be feeling that way. Like, let me just hurry up, get in here, and get out, right? And concentrate on the wall or concentrate and look in the ceiling. And then you'll feel somebody's eyes on you, like, hey man, what
hey,
you got
hey, it was
going on,
probably
man?
it was probably a little different for you because you like what you like 6'4".
Yeah, you're 6'3",
Yeah, so they was you almost it almost makes you feel like man, like it's just like being in jail, I think almost. And I've
Yeah,
never I've
we
only been
used
like
to
in the holding cell, but it was almost just like man, like what why
we
did I
used to
do
call it
this?
in the showers, we used to call it bone hawking. That was the name where we say, man, this guy in here looking at guys, Peters, and call him bone hawking.
We used to
Like
call them
this
meat
guy,
gazers. Meat
yeah,
gazers.
yeah, yeah, meat games. I used to hear
Meat
that one
gazers.
too. It's like, man, what is these guys stand? And you got the females in there, the same thing. You a young person. They got everything from 17-year-olds all the way to 30, 40-year-olds who was
Yeah.
in boot camp. Like I think 32 was the age. So, but it's like, why? What does that have to do with shaping our mindset, making us all group up in that little tiny, shower area together, and then being like, y'all gotta hurry up and wash up fast. Or what was it, 3 minutes?
Yeah, yeah. I don't even know if it was that. I was in and out as quick as possible.
Yeah, yeah, you getting in there and
And
trying
see,
to,
I was the type of guy. I go in once the RDC's left. I try to sneak in and take a shower by myself real quick.
yeah,
So
and once we got the what do they call them duties? The detail where you get to stay back in the compartment and stuff like that.
yeah, when you have
Once
to
I got
stand
to do
watch at
that,
the compartment watch, and I was on ship staff myself,
yeah.
and so like I had to stand the actual quarterdeck watch out of the front of quote unquote the ship, which is actually a building, but
Hmm.
yeah, I stood the watch out there, and
Yeah,
yeah,
we had to like keep putting the wax down on the floor, and
oh yeah,
when everybody left in the last few weeks, we had to keep the compartment clean and all of this other stuff. Because when I first got there, the two different guys, you know, just based off of me and this other guy being big guys, they and we kind of was aggressive. I was fresh out of Detroit. So I was in there on 10, with them guys in there, like,
yeah.
I'm snapping for the smallest stuff. But they seeing that people listening to me, so they made me like the
RPOC
RPOC.
or RPOC, yeah.
Yeah, but then the other guy, the senior chief, came in and liked my voice, like, oh, you got a deep, strong voice, when you talking. I need you to be the A-Rock. So, and I'm like, they like, yeah, you got to know how to sing. I'm like, man, I don't know how to sing. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
But then the singing wasn't like with the traditional, what I
Yeah.
think, from Motown, we thinking I got to be out there like rhythm and blues, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I'm gonna tell you, even the people who can't sing, when you start doing that cadence, when people hear that from a distance, it kind of sound like you got a little melody in your voice like that.
Yeah.
We out there one, two, two, three,
Yeah.
four, one, two, you know. so, so
Man.
think
Yeah.
about it. If you got military people around, you can say some of that stuff and it'll automatically trigger like they know, like, oh yeah, man,
It,
he was
it's
in the
fu-
military.
it's funny because anytime I smell that Barbasol shaving cream,
Mm,
I instantly have
trigger.
flashbacks. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Instantly like, dang, am I back in boot camp? Like what the fuck is going on, man?
Yeah,
And
it's funny, like the stuff that's like nostalgic off of boot camp, like the type of, that soap we was using,
yep.
the terminology that everybody was using. It's like almost being part of a secret society, you kind of
100%. Even like man, I'm about to go get some water out the scuttlebutt. Motherfuckers be looking at me like, what the fuck are you talking about? My
yeah,
bad,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
My bad. I'm at the water fountain.
Yeah, and
Oh,
oh man, I can give you one. I was on recruiting duty
okay.
at a college.
Okay.
Now let me set the scenario. I'm at this we doing recruiting duty. I'm a whole senior chief at the time out there in Ohio. And we go to the college. And we had been on the road. This college we went to do the recruiting thing, it was probably about 2.5, 3 hours. So I gotta use the bathroom when I get in there, right? And guess what I asked for? When I go to where the faculty is, I'm like, hey, where the head at? Now, to me, I sound completely normal. Every everybody in this front office just stopped and froze and looked at me like what's wrong with
Yeah,
him?
what the hell are you talking about, man?
It literally took a matter of seconds. Like I'm wondering, like, why nobody even answered the question. They just start staring at me like, did he just say that? And I'm like, yeah, man, where the head at? And the second class that was there was like, hey, senior, in these colleges, all of the military, you fresh off the ship. And he ended up telling the lady, like, oh, yeah, we call the bathroom what other branches call a latrine and all this other, we call it a head on the ship, and seeing fresh off the ship. I'm like, oh. And then I'm like, oh, is that that's
Yeah.
what I was talking about? Like, oh,
Yeah.
no. And you think I go in this front office with all these secretaries and stuff. These all women. And the first thing they hear me yelling is this big guy come in here, right? Big old rascal. Hey,
Where
before
the
we get
head at?
started, yeah, where the head at? They
Hey,
like, what?
hey, y'all either gonna give it up or I'm gonna take it from you.
They like, not here, sir. The head is not here. You will not be getting any head. I'm like, oh Jesus. So military terminology, you gotta like when you go out in the civilian arenas, you gotta be very cognizant of what you're
Yeah.
saying and how they're going to interpret it by what the military means by. And I don't even know why we came up with like the term head. Like what
Who
you
knows?
know? Yeah. Well, why we can't just say toilet? Why
Yeah.
even change that? You know?
Restroom, bathroom. Like, why
Yeah,
can't we
like
say
come
that?
on, man. That could have
Yeah.
stayed universal. So why it got to be a different name? You
That's
know,
funny, man.
unless we boo booing in the woods or something, and you got be like, go hit that oak tree. Where you drop the deuce at some other
Yeah.
name for it or something. Go hit the big oak. But
Yeah.
we use the regular bathrooms, man. Just call it a bathroom. But
Oh
yeah,
man.
man. And,
Man, did
and go
oh
ahead.
go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, I think the first 2 weeks in boot camp, I really started, which was crazy. I started enjoying it. I was like having fun.
Yeah.
And I think the amusement part was watching how much some of these people who was like from privileged backgrounds and stuff, how these guys was like breaking down and crying and I was like man, like this guy cussed at you and you start crying. Like
Yeah.
that was so unusual because man, my mama cussed me out worse than that. And it's like, man,
Yeah.
these guys don't have no, a lot of them had never been exposed to that type of stuff. And then that was the first time too that I've seen, because in Detroit, everybody is compartmentalized in Detroit. Like in Dearborn, Michigan, you got the Arabics, you got Greek Town, then you got um some parts of Southwest Detroit that was like heavily Hispanic, or you had everybody was in their own little section,
They had their own
of
area.
Detroit, right? Which some of these areas is predominantly black. So that's who I'm used to being around. And now you go into boot camp and there's so many different cultures and backgrounds in this one division, right? You got Filipino, you got Chinese, you got Japanese,
Yeah.
you got
It's a
you
big culture melting pot.
yeah, and not even intentionally being ignorant. But it was like when I interacted with Asians, because of my experience and background, I only knew like everybody was Chinese to me. And I'm telling you, same thing with Hispanics, right? With the Hispanics that I had been exposed to, I was calling everybody Mexican, and these guys be ready to fight me. You know,
Mm.
it's like, oh, I ain't Mexican, I'm Dominican, or and it was like we wasn't trying to be offensive. Everybody was not exposed. We were young. Everybody in there young, so that we don't know all these different cultures and all the different backgrounds, and. But the good thing about boot camp is once these guys saw that you was trying to, figure out what was going on and what the culture was about, they would teach you. They would tell you all about the history, heritage, culture of the Dominican Republic, or if they were Puerto Rican or whatever, they would give you that feedback. Even when I got to the ship, the thing I used to love about supply and food service, supply was a very diverse department. But the
Hmm.
thing about it was everybody got a chance to like put their food and influence on the crew.
Yeah.
So it was like if it was Cinco de Mayo, everybody, it wasn't like nobody was on their own island. Everybody participated in that. We all put
Yeah.
sombreros on, we all had fun and cut the music on and we acted a fool, and it was just like the one team, one fight, and we're celebrating everybody. Whether it's just like right now, right? St. Patrick's Day, whatever it was, we all was celebrating that thing as a crew,
Yeah.
you know. And that's how people would know we was military when we would go like to Virginia Beach and stuff like that, because the group didn't make sense. you know,
Yeah. Hundred
it's
percent.
like, oh, it's a Filipino guy, two white guys, a big black guy. you know, the whole group was so, diverse that it only made sense that these guys in the military, and then
Yeah.
all of us clean shaven and looking. We done ironed our clothes.
Thinking you go into the club looking fly.
Yeah. And as
100%.
soon as you walk in, oh, you must be in the Navy. Oh, you must be in the military. We used to be like, well, how did you know? Yeah, because you look clean. And the fact that being clean out there meant you was in the military said something about the type of guys that they was even, used to or interacting with. Like,
Yeah.
because oh yeah, you too clean. Because most of us, our mustache is sharp as a pencil, and
Yep.
hairlines, and clothes. I think maybe about 5 or 6 years ago, I just stopped putting that starch and stuff on my clothes.
Yeah.
Ironing them and putting them creases in there like that. Maybe about 6, 7 years ago. Cause that used to be, I wasn't going nowhere if I ain't put that heat on them clothes.
Yeah. No, 100%. I get it. I definitely
Yeah,
get it.
yeah, yeah. So it was good exposure. I feel like them first few years in the military, I learned so much just about different people, different communities, different cultures. I learned, and then when we was hitting all these ports back then, the
Which is
aircraft
even
carriers.
crazier because the culture in America for whatever community, Filipino,
Mhm.
even like when we were over in Egypt or like I don't know if you ever got to go. I was in Israel and like seeing how it goes out there and just seeing how they interact out there compared to like somebody who's from Israel in America, like, it kind of shows you like we actually do have it pretty fucking good,
As
and
far as freedom and
freedom
social
and
norms and
and just taking
what
advantage
we're
of the
allowed to
opportunity,
do.
freedom and opportunity. Like opportunity is big over here compared to like even Bahrain. Like Bahrain, I probably went to Bahrain like 97 times. And it's just like, man, like seeing the women have to have their face covered up during and they're doing Ramadan, which people do it out here too, but everybody does it over there. You know what I'm saying? Like you hit Bahrain during Ramadan and you can't even go to a McDonald's to get some food or nothing because it's shut down till the sun's down. So yeah, it was definitely a culture shock for me, especially like coming from where I come from. Like I I would say like 95% of my high school is all white. So then
Mhm.
so now that I'm back and I'm back in my area, I don't fit in no more at all
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
I
Because some of that culture has spilled over on you. Yeah, yeah.
100%, 100%. So when I like even when I go out now, like I don't feel comfortable out here sometimes. So
And
and
here's
matter
the
of fact,
thing.
go ahead,
Mhm.
go ahead, go ahead.
No, no, no. You've outgrown some of them guys, both
Yep,
socially, economically. A lot of people don't realize after them first few 4 or 5 years in the military, you change more than what you realize. And when you
yep,
realize it, when you go back home
100%.
and you don't really fit in, the way you speak, the way you carry yourself, uh, a lot of that has outgrown, that
It's
atmosphere.
the main one for me too is like when people even like some of my friends from back here, they'll text me and the big one I'll be like, I bet, right?
Mhm.
I remember matter of fact, it might have been my little brother. I said, I bet I'll be there. And he was like, bet, what do you mean? Like, are we putting money on it? I'm like, nah, that just means like cool or yeah, I
Yeah,
got
yeah.
you or I'm gonna do it. So yeah, it was different, man.
Yeah, and the slang, like I say, everything, even with the food, because it was like, I was tasting Filipino food, and I was like, man, now I'm going to different restaurants that I probably wouldn't have went to, because now I'm looking for these different foods, certain, Jamaican food and stuff like that I wasn't
Yeah,
eating before, and now I didn't got exposed to this stuff and I actually like it. And now I think if I'd have stayed in Detroit and we wasn't exposed to certain stuff, it just been what it is.
yeah,
You once you get out in the world, you started getting exposed to different stuff because you don't know what you like until you try it.
yeah, 100%.
That's how I found out I didn't like caviar. I was so thinking like rich people had access to all of this stuff, these special cheeses, and
Yeah.
I would see people eating that stuff and be like, "Oh my God, it's so amazing."
Yeah.
And the first time I went to Vegas, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm on vacation for my birthday. I want to experience it. I want to taste all of this." Man, and I taste them caviar, and it tastes like I put my mouth on a fish booty. It tastes like nothing but straight fish ass. And
Yeah.
I'm like, what in the hell? Like this caviar,
Why,
this
why
shit
why do
is
people
like
like this
what?
stuff? Yeah. Like why are
And
they
it's
eating this
like
stuff?
that's when I realized, man, rich people be fooling us, man. They do stuff just to make you feel like you're being left out from something that it really ain't true. You know, just like these people buy these huge houses and they only really in one or two rooms, but they buy it just to show you that they got money,
Yeah.
and that's America. Because you think about once I was able to afford certain stuff, then I realized that you get a 4,000
It,
square foot house, right?
it
And the
ain't as cool
first
as you thought
thing,
it was gonna be.
hell no, because it's
Yeah.
like, nah, I got to clean the gutters on this big house. I
Yep.
got to cut the grass on this big house.
Yep.
Anytime something is, the maintenance and stuff of this big house, man, this ain't it. It's like, I'm just got it so I can show people, hey, man, look, I got a 3-story. Man, look at this big house I got, and I spent all this money on this house. And then I realized, I was like, man, when all these kids get out the house, like I'm getting a much, much smaller house. Once these kids out of here, because all of that, like you hear about 50 Cent and Rick Ross and all of these different people who got, oh, this guy got 30 rooms in his house and he got, like, for what?
Yeah.
What? I mean, for what? Really, you just waste the resources. Because if you ain't gonna put people in the rooms, then you're just being, just wasteful and arrogant. Like it makes no sense some of the stuff we do, but we're conditioned to think that's what you're supposed to do when you get to that level. You know, it was just like in the military with the rank. It's like what we think that rank is, and oh, with them chiefs, they don't do nothing. Or the first class, he ain't doing nothing all day. And then you get to that rank and be like, oh hell,
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
it's like somebody could have that ambition. A chief could have that ambition and say, man, I want to be a CMC. Look like the CMC don't do nothing. He just telling everybody else what to do. And then you become a CMC and that pressure get on your shoulders. And then you like, oh man, this is hell. This ain't nothing about what I thought it was gonna be, you know?
Yeah.
And that's the
It's
thing
funny too
about
though because you have not even just chiefs, just people in general that'll make rank. And we always used to say like, "Oh man, I know he used to get made fun of in high school because he got that power now." And you could see how people even grew up based off of whatever rank they had because that sense of entitlement sometimes, not every time, but
Mhm.
people would think like, "Oh yeah, I'm a chief now. You have to respect me." Nah,
Yeah,
that's still
yeah,
earned. Like you still gotta earn my respect. I gotta earn yours. Like just because you a chief doesn't mean I have to respect you. Now I respect the anchor for what the anchor is and what the purpose of the anchor serves and the representation of that. However, comma, if you a bitch ass motherfucker trying to tell me to do some shit that I know you was doing as a first class, why the fuck you think I'm gonna do it now? Like I seen what you did, so
and if they
that's
if
a
they
big
have to
thing.
throw the weight of that around too, and that's when I know that's happening, right? When I know they're being like completely like brainwashed with the fact that they got a higher position. If you hear them saying it all the time,
Yeah.
I'm a first class, you're gonna listen to me. I'm a
Yep.
chief, you're gonna listen to me. Oh, I'm a senior chief, so I'm not going. If you have to keep, I'm sitting here looking at you. You got that outfit on.
Yeah.
And the fact that you got to tell me that, and I'm literally staring at what rank you are,
Yeah.
lets me know that whatever influence that you actually supposed to have, you don't have it. So you're trying
And
to,
you probably insecure about yourself too.
oh, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, and I think what Kanye said, the people highest up got the lowest self-esteem because some of them got that pressure where they're hoping that they're presenting what people supposed to see.
Yeah.
I hope people respect me as a so they go overboard with stuff.
Yeah.
It's like I'm gonna go overboard. And that's why I used to tell people, you want to keep the decision making at the lowest rank possible when it comes to fixing problems. Because if you have somebody very, very senior fix some type of problem of they're going to go overboard. It's going to be
Yep.
overkill. They're going to use a sledgehammer to kill a fly, and it's like, we don't need to do all that just to do that. And I realized, man, hey, keep the decision making at the lowest level possible. Because
Yeah.
once you got to get the CO to controlling liberty, he going to make it painful.
Yeah. 100%.
You got to get the XO to managing everybody and walking around during cleaning stations with a flashlight. If he got to do that, that situation is now going to be uncomfortable.
Yep.
So keep that threshold of power at the lowest level by doing the right thing. Just make sure you running your people so nobody else got to try to do it for you. Because the minute somebody else got to get involved with that thing, they're going to make it horrible. And you like, this
Yeah.
overkill. I remember having a problem with getting the working parties, and that was a problem my whole career.
Oh yeah. Oh
Executing.
yeah. Yeah.
And here's the thing: instead of them just putting that pressure back on the departments that wasn't cooperating, they started telling me, "Oh, well, Warren, you need to take three or four different musters, right? Because the XO's idea was not to make these departments that's not doing the right thing do the right thing. We're going to make you guys who's doing the work and trying to get the food struck down, we're going to make y'all do something extra. So I'm going to make you turn in 4 muster sheets, and then we'll make sure. Why is it the leaders don't just make sure they people here? There's a fundamental difference between Navy and Marines when we get on like LDEX and amphibious class. If you have the Marines muster
Oh, they gonna do it.
for 100-man working party,
They gonna do it.
listen what I'm telling you now, this was crazy. Their E5s are going to make sure those E5s, those sergeants will make sure those people is out there. On the Navy side, we got all type of khakis in that hangar bay and can't find their people.
Yep.
Can't get them out there. And listen what I'm telling you now. We literally had on Bush, we literally had a working party every week, the same day, right? Just for continuity, so it wasn't no like, hey, surprise, there's a work. No, it was the same day the food got delivered for the crew. This y'all food, this y'all
Yeah.
groceries. It's just like pulling up to your house, your old lady get the groceries for the house, and your kids is like, they playing hide and seek when it's time to put the groceries up. That's what these military guys are doing, right? And then you'll have these khakis out there talking about, I don't know where Toon at. I don't know where Mike. I told him to be out there. Well, here's the thing: if it's of no consequence, they're not going to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
100%.
after a while, I explained that to him at the meeting. I said, I'm sick of even having the same conversation that you guys are out here. You get these khakis walking around, they on social media with their chest puffed out like they're the greatest leaders, and they can't get nobody to show up for a worker. You can't get that little division of people because you think food service is bigger than most departments. So
Yep.
it's people, it's literally khakis.
I think the only other one that was even coming close to us was like Deck.
Yeah, deck and some of them air department divisions.
Air department. Yeah, but that's a bunch of different. It's not just one.
Yeah, it's like B1, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And food service, like on there, right? Food service had 278 people in it, right? Split between all the different galleys, but
Yep.
it's one division, really. It's really, the cooks is the cooks. We just putting them in different locations to provide for a different audience. But the fact that it's like this guy, this khaki, is only in charge of 10, 12 people. This person is only in charge of 20 guys. And he don't have no knowledge or information on where his people are.
Yeah.
They showed up to work today. They came to quarters. And you told them, now think about leadership. You told them to be somewhere and to get something done. And they told you, man, damn you, I ain't going out
Fuck
there.
you. Fuck you. I ain't doing it.
And I'm talking about they're doing it every week. But these same people will tell you that they're the best leaders you go read their evals and fit reps, and they'll tell you that they're the greatest leaders that ever existed. And that's why I just say, man, a lot of these people are posers. Because in reality, You're not leading
Yeah.
people if nobody's following you. I don't care what outfit you got on. I can literally put you in an admiral's outfit right now, and ain't nobody listening to you, ain't nobody following nothing you say. Then what does that mean? We can put a captain's uniform on the quarterdeck and tell everybody ceremoniously walk past this and just salute it every day. What do
Yep.
that mean? Because that outfit sitting right there on that quarterdeck, that don't mean it ain't nothing until the person in it is able to command and direct and get stuff done and lead people, improve people,
Yeah.
help employ people. That's what the military want us to do. And the fact that we will have, and I probably can reach out to some of them guys on them carriers and amphibious class ship now and say, hey man, y'all still having issues with working parties? Y'all still having issues with them khakis? And then we can start tagging them khakis that's on them commands who claiming that they the greatest leaders and they can't get their people to show up for a working party. You can't have it both ways. You can't be the greatest of all. Like you see some of these people, evals and fit reps, man, and it's talking about like this a superhero, this Jesus little brother, he walk on water,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
make him a master chief now, make him a senior chief now, and these guys can't get nothing done in reality. And that's why a lot of times sailors would be like, well, how did this guy make chief? How did this guy make senior chief? How did this guy? Well, the person on paper looks phenomenal. And that would be the thing where a lot of people would transfer to you, right? And say you the devil or the department head, and you're looking at their evals and fit reps and like, oh, this guy a monster. Oh, this guy able to, oh, I'm about to get a superstar. And the guy get there and don't know nothing.
Yep.
And you like, well, you got all of these NECs and all of this stuff, and you don't know how to do nothing.
Mm.
Like, yeah, and it's crazy because a lot of people will blame they will blame the chiefs that they will blame the master chiefs that go to the board. Guess what do you think the master chiefs can see at that board?
Just the paperwork.
Just the paperwork. They can tally up and
Now,
score
I,
them
I do got
papers.
I got a question about the boards too, not to interrupt. Is it true like
Uh-oh.
you have to because obviously, like I said, I never even put in a package. I didn't stay in long enough to be able to do all that. Is it true like you have to take a photo in your uniforms and send that off as well? And like
Oh, for the officer?
I guess let me ask you this: what all is in that package when you're going up for chief?
Yeah, not for chief. For officer it was. We didn't never have to send no photos up
Okay,
for chief. For
okay, so
officer, oh
so it's
yeah.
different for officer. Gotcha.
Yes, and that officer's record, in our records, we had to upload photos, and you had to do that at every rank, you know, from W2 to W3 to W4, whatever you went up, yeah, lieutenant commander to commander, yeah, you're gonna take that photo and put it in there,
Okay,
you know, it is what it is.
yeah.
But
So
I've never had to do that as no chief. I don't know if something changed within the
well,
last
and
few
I mean,
years
we
or
just got
something.
out last year, so
Yeah,
I just
but
got out
I
last year,
wasn't
so I don't know
as
if it was different back like within the last year. Something's changed. I don't know.
Oh yeah, no. Well, and here's the thing: I wasn't as in tune with them last, I'll say 2, 3 years, man. I just slowly start putting my focus on transition because
Yeah,
what people won't tell you if you're working, humping and bumping up into that last 10, 12 months that you in, like the Navy wants you to do, and they want to keep putting that work on you. If you're not concentrating on this stuff about 2, 3 years out, your exit, you're gonna be in bad shape.
yeah,
And once you get out, this is what they don't try to tell you. Once you get out and you cross over and become a lot of people are not trying to help you like that.
yeah.
You're like, oh, well, I need to get this fixed in my record, or oh, I lost this, or oh, my medical doc, and oh, Mr. Tom, oh, well, we don't know. That's closed out. That system has closed you out. They've removed, so whatever you don't get done prior to getting out, and I tell them at the very least, it need to be 24 months out. You need to be focusing on getting all your medical
Making
documentation
sure
and
your
all of
records
this
are
stuff.
correct and yeah, all
Yeah,
that.
and especially for the stuff that you intend to claim with the VA, right? Because that process is very tedious,
Yeah,
but it is systematic. So if you do it correctly, right? If you're attending your physical therapy and you're trying to mitigate whatever problems you got physically, mentally, whatever your issues are, if you showing that, hey, I've been getting, treatment and care on this stuff, and you can show some historical data and some x-rays and stuff like that and some blood work or whatever. If you got high blood pressure, you can show that, hey, I got these recordings where my blood pressure was high, I've been prescribed these medications. Once you got all your ducks in a row, facilitating that process for your claims is
It's
it's easy.
easy. It's easy.
It
It's too
becomes what
easy.
they're not telling most people is it becomes very difficult if you got started that last year and you didn't let the Navy work you all the way up to the fence, right? And that's what's happening, especially to some of these junior guys, man. These commands. Oh, this is the only person that know how to do X, Y, and Z. That's why I say if you have an opportunity, don't retire off no ship.
Yeah.
Don't retire off no ship because they're having inspection the day before you go on terminal leave. They'll be like, "Oh, we need you to. Oh, yeah, we need you. The only person that know how to. We got to get you to. And you'll be so still wrapped up in the Navy
You
that
know
you're
what's
not taking
funny?
care of yourself."
Just for you to even bring that up, it's hilarious, man. Because you might not necessarily remember this, but obviously I was kind of running the Work Center Soup 3M program in S2,
Mhm.
right before you had left the ship, right? And I'll never forget. I was having stuff going on back at home, and we were coming up on whatever the galley inspections were, and my mom had just got sick, and
Mm.
and you were the only one that was like, "No, he need to stay home." And while you guys went on their way, you was the only one that was like, "Nah, he gonna stay home. Like keep him on what do they call that? Shore detachment."
Oh, yeah, yeah. Beach deck.
Yeah, beach debt, and I got to stay on beach debt. Literally, you guys, we got back from the underway, and I think you had left maybe a month or two later, and we were going underway again because we were doing all them small ass little underways for
In and
whatever
out.
inspections, and my mom was still sick, and I had put in that emergency leave again, and they made me stay on the boat. Yep,
Oh,
they said,
wow.
and to a point where I had to. My dad was prior Navy. I had to call my dad like, "Hey, just put in the Red Cross message. Like they're gonna make it
Yes.
more difficult than it has to be. Call the Red Cross and I'll be home." But
And,
yeah,
and the two options I always tell people now, and of course, I learned this after I got in khaki. If you have a situation like that and your chain of command is just being like, because here's the thing with our parents and all this other stuff, if we're and you think at the time we weren't at war or nothing crazy like
yeah,
that.
yep,
So and that was the thing with the department heads, is like there's no reason you can't afford for that person to go back.
yep,
Somebody can cover down. Like there's no way this the only person that we got a full aircraft carrier with this many people and we can't afford for a few people to be gone. Like that's crazy. But a lot of them get stuck in that mentality, especially some of these more senior people, and they be like, if I'm here, you here. And they stuck in that mentality where when we came in the military, it was whoever was on your page too. It's like,
yep.
oh, so you mean to tell me this guy's cousin is passing away and
You
he
can't
can't
let
go
him
see?
go. Yeah,
Like the concept, and we're keep in mind now, if we were at war or in these emergent situations where it was dangerous or something like that, it would be totally different. But it wouldn't be none of that going on. Just
yeah,
regular operations, regular day-to-day
yep,
operations. And they'll be saying, nope, he can't go. Nope, 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 nope.
yep.
And it just shows
Suppo
you.
used to deny my shit every time. Not every time, but because it was only twice. But yeah, he was the one that was like advocating I stayed. And I mean, they even, I don't know if you remember this, they had called me into that office that he had over there across from the LS's. And he was like, is there any possibility that she's going to be okay and you can go on their way with us? And I'm like, man,
That's what he asked.
my mom is sick. Yeah. My mom is sick, and you stepped in like, nah, like we got somebody that can. Chief Carl over there, he can help. Not to throw names, but that's who I was working under. Like Chief Carl can handle it. He doesn't need Honeyman here for this.
But
And
like I
yeah,
said, it wasn't nothing what because you think about it, right? You got people that work for you. The minute you do something and you disregard something that's extremely important to them like that, you're never going to regain that person's loyalty.
yeah,
And I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you, it's gonna be a thing where people do the bare minimum for you after that, but you're never going to regain any type of sailor's loyalty who you didn't disregard it like that, and oh, they grandma getting ready to pass away or something like that, and you play that game with them on, no, you need to be here.
Yeah.
And keep in mind now, most of that is going to lay with that department, not the division officer and the chiefs. It's going to lay with that department head. Because if that
And
department head
it
go to
was
that,
Suppo. Yeah, it was Suppo that was trying to fuck me over.
yeah, and people be sneaky about it because they're pretending to be your friend in your face
Yep.
and stab you in your back. You think
100%.
about it, if that's Suppo, because XO and the CO on the aircraft carrier, they don't know these people's situation.
Yep.
So everything that they get briefed is going to be directly from them department heads saying that they are for or against a specific thing like that. And
Yep.
if that department head say, I can afford for him to be gone, he's a great worker, let him be with his family, even if he wasn't a good worker. It's a family thing. Let him go, and uh even if we have to put that particular thing, postpone it or something, or whatever the case may be, because it's nothing out there that urgent. Where
Yeah.
even with the graduations, because I watched on Bush with one of the department heads, and that happened twice actually. It happened on the L deck and it happened on the Bush. There was somebody that was allowed to go back to their daughter's graduation, while other
Mm.
people were being told that no, you couldn't get off the
Yep.
ship for funerals and everything. And then we watched the department head go to his daughter's graduation.
Yeah.
We like, hold on, we got people that died.
Posting photos on Facebook talking about,
Man,
thank
what?
God, I'm so proud of Toon for graduating. Come on now.
And
Come
it's
on,
like, hold
man.
on. I thought they literally said, and they were like, oh, well, he asked in advance and he had this much money. And we like, literally, people got relatives that's passing away and y'all told them no.
Yep.
So that's why I tell people, don't ever believe that these commands are these integrity based. No, 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 no. If you got
100%.
questions and something don't smell pass the smell test, it, if it don't seem right, 9 times out of 10, it's
If
not.
it looked like a duck, quack like a duck, it's probably a fucking duck.
Yeah, and what I noticed, especially with some of the department heads that I encountered, right, is they will pat you on your back, they will smile with you, and they will go behind. I literally stood outside of the XO's door when people didn't know I was in there, and listened to this department head say some crazy stuff. And then the minute I went in there, he tried to change. Like, oh, Warren, yeah, da da da. And I'm like, he don't even know I was just like outside this door, like, and keep in mind, these people will disarm you with their oh hey, and oh we love you, oh you're
Yeah.
doing a great job, and
Yeah.
go right behind your back and be like, yeah, we need to, oh this guy, yeah, oh man.
It's funny too, man. And like I said, just speaking from my own experience,
Mhm.
the same suppo I'm talking about, and I know you know exactly what I'm talking about. The same suppo that I'm talking about asked me directly when I was leaving the bush. He said, "Hey, look, if you stay here, I will map you to first class." And I looked at him and I said, "Thank you, sir, but I would like to go enjoy my time with my family." And for after I told them no, they switched up the. Now, mind you, I only had a couple months left before I was leaving, but yeah, as soon as I told them, nah, I'm not canceling the orders. I'm not staying. I'm not going on this deployment with y'all. That's not gonna happen. And as soon as I told them no, the whole script flipped, and I was like, okay, yeah, y'all some fake motherfuckers, man.
Oh, absolutely.
Fake
And
motherfucker.
I,
Which,
I
and I knew that from the jump anyways, but and I was a guy. I'm gonna play the system to my benefit always, and I think everybody does, or should to
well,
an
and
extent.
I think my disappointment came because I used to go hard for some of these people, man, and have this loyalty that sir, I'm about to push for the best result possible. And then
Yep,
finding out later that these people would be stabbing you in your back or not
yep,
backing you up, like you're like I done protected some of these people from some of the mistakes that they
yep,
done made.
yep,
And like, sir, don't even worry about it. I'll take care. I get it fixed. Like some of the missed calls that they done made, and you come back and back them up, and you never let these stories get out. Of stuff that you done did to make sure that the mark was met, and they didn't get embarrassed. as
Yeah.
department heads. Because you think most of them suppos that's on large decks, that's their '06 tour, right? They go there as
Yep.
'05s. By the time they finish that tour, they're going to be full
They
bird
leave in
captain.
'06. Yep.
Yeah. So my whole thing is, I don't mind being this loyal old hound dog. That's my personality anyway. But
Yep.
I only got to find out one time that you stabbing me in my back. And after that, your grins and all of this, just as well as you working against me, I'm gonna start working against you.
Yep.
But I wear my heart on my sleeve. So when I don't like somebody, that person, anybody will know. If I don't like you, you're going to know. You're going to
Yeah.
feel it.
Yeah. 100%.
You're going to feel my energy. I'm going to keep it professional, but you're going to know this guy really don't rock with me. I don't pretend with people, and I don't like trying to be sneaky. I used to tell people, if I stab you, Donnie Townsend is not going to stab you in your back. I'm going to stab you in your chest.
Yeah.
And I
I'm
used
gonna
to
let you
tell
know.
people that. I'm gonna let you. There's nobody who want. If I'm gonna stab you, I'm gonna stab you in your chest.
Yep.
There's people in the fleet. We heard this person was saying this, and this about you, Donnie. This person. We was at this meeting, and this person said, I go see that person. And I tell you, in person, a lot of people energy switch up. You know, they be talking crazy behind your back, and you go see them people in person, man.
Whole
And they
different
be
story.
shaking your hand and, oh man, I had so much, I heard so much about you. That's why I can tell you so many of these people is just fake out here, man. And
Yeah.
people used to be like, why you don't want to come eat no, why you don't want to come eat in the cheese mess with the chief? Why you don't want to eat in the wardroom with the rest of the and I don't like being around fake people, man. I don't like laughing at jokes when they ain't funny. I don't like doing the Christmas parties. I don't want to come to none of that stuff and be around all y'all fake people and they talking about each other.
Yep.
These people, these people are literally talking crap about each other, doing all this fake stuff, and then we supposed to get up in these bubbles and huddles and act like everybody cool. But then they act like, oh, you just this, big angry guy walking around and you don't like nobody. And like that's a fake narrative that I'm this person and I'm just angry every day.
Yeah.
No, most of y'all is on bullshit, and I call you on your bullshit, but I'm supposed to be the angry guy because I call people on their bullshit. And that's how what they do is they put this label on you. So other people will think that you don't have no relevance in what you take up a issue with. This
Yep.
stuff that I'm taking up with an issue with, if we talk about it, everybody gonna realize it's legit. Because one thing people won't tell you on none of them ships is, oh, was Donnie, when he tell you something, was he lying? They're gonna say, oh no, he wasn't lying.
Yeah.
But we might not like what he said. Nobody, just like when what was the comedian that got on that Cat Williams.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Everybody was saying, "Oh, Cat Williams, oh he gossiping," or "Oh, Cat Williams this, Cat Williams," but nobody was telling you that Cat Williams was lying.
Yep.
And this is what I can tell you to this day. When I call people and I can tell you some of the stuff that they was doing and some of the foul stuff, and I can tell you stuff with turnovers, and I can tell you all this stuff that goes on underneath the underbelly of the military, and nobody will tell you I'm lying.
Yeah.
I can put my listen, I put my check on that. Ain't nobody gonna tell you he's lying.
Yeah.
So what they're gonna do is they're gonna try to convince everybody you just this angry guy walking around with a chip on your shoulder. Oh, why you don't eat in the wardroom? What? Nah, I don't rock. Why you don't want to come to the Christmas or the all officer meeting and hang out? No, I don't want to be around y'all. Like I just don't. When it's
Yeah.
time to
Yeah.
work, guess what? Donnie gonna work. But other than that, man, let me go in my office and mind my business, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to be out here pretending with y'all, man, because a lot of y'all, I just don't like you.
I got a question too for
Go
you.
ahead.
I want to go back to the rank structure thing that we were talking about too.
Mhm.
Uh, do you think that the Navy is too relaxed with the structure, or is it just inconsistent?
It got relaxed. And I think they relaxed it. So there was a time that the recruiting numbers was really hurting, right?
Hmm.
Because the generation started shifting when technology got real heavy. So soon as I'll say about 2007, 2008 time frame, right?
Mm.
It was like this real big shift in technology with social media and dating websites and all of this stuff. And it's like the personalities of people got connected to these computers,
Mm.
right? So even when you watch, if you take a 70-year-old and a 7-year-old, and you give both of them a cell phone, who you think gonna be able to navigate it better?
Oh,
The
the seven,
7-year-old,
100%.
by a long shot. So
Yeah.
what we noticed is they had a natural connection with technology, but then they started disconnecting themselves from actual physical work and uh, in-person interaction.
Yeah.
Uh,
Social
even
interactions,
now,
all that.
yeah, the social interaction piece where even now you will see like a guy will jump in 10 different women inbox, but then he'll see women in real life and won't be afraid to approach them.
Yeah.
But he'll send himself naked in the girl's inbox. That's the psychology
Yeah.
of some of these young guys. He'll
Yeah.
send naked pictures of himself in her inbox, but if he see regular human females in real life, he's scared to approach them and say, "Hey, how you doing? You know, my name is Chuck or Sam or whatever," and have a regular human conversation with them.
Yeah.
But then he'll go behind that computer, just like on the computer with you, right? You can post something, somebody will talk crazy to you on that internet, and that same person to see you in real life and
And
be
freeze up.
and you'll be like, man, that was the guy telling me he'll slap me upside my head. You know, it's times, I could post something, somebody say something crazy under there. And I'm thinking, I go click and look through their profile pictures and be like, man, this guy is a dweeb, man. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, but they get a different level of confidence with technology. It's like, oh, I got this computer to hide behind. And now in the military, now when you go on the Navy ship, that design of that ship is old. We still dogging down doors and twisting shuttles. You still got to be mopping and sweeping. So there's not now if the ship looked like Star Trek, if the Navy looked like a Star Trek ship and everything was electronic and you can wave and the doors slide open,
Yeah.
I think this generation would take off in that type of environment.
Okay.
But since in America, we're allowed to allow our contractors and all of these people who get involved in military contracting, they're robbing us, right? Because when you think about, hey, we're putting $3 or $4 billion into a warship, what do you think that ship should be looking like? Not
Next
when you
level.
walk on
Next
there
level.
that the ladder wheels is falling to pieces and the soda machines is busted up and it looked like you walk on that warship, a $3 billion warship, and it looked like a crack house. So and you go through the shipyard and
Hey,
and
hey,
the
which low-key makes me more comfortable.
yeah. Think about it. We go into these
Yeah.
shipyards and we spend all this money on this avail period, and the same work might have to get done 3 or 4 times, right?
Yep.
So in America, we just allow ourselves through this dirty contracting, we allow ourselves to be robbed so much, even in the cities, the states. Every time, do you notice every time we get a surplus of money from taxpayers, that America just gives that away?
100%.
They'll give it away to other countries, right? They'll tell us there's no money to take care of healthcare. There's no money to do this. There's no money. And then they'll take $30 billion and be like, give it away.
Yeah.
Because American suppression is intentional, and that way it keeps the rich people rich and keep poor people working for pennies on the dollar. If you think about in America, you even think about food stamps, right?
Hmm.
If food costs the same amount that it costs in these third world, all these other countries, the food was the same amount.
Yeah.
If food was the same amount, we wouldn't need no type of EBT or none of that.
Yeah.
If the cost of living, right, for us to live, and really it's not different. America makes it different because American suppression is intentional.
Yep.
You think about the same houses that I grew up in. My mother bought a house for like 56,000 about 30 some years ago. That same house is
Probably
over a
worth
quarter million dollars
I
right
was gonna
now.
say 400,000,
Yeah.
$300,000.
Yeah, so you think they keep raising the water line because as long as they keep America supposed to be a utopia.
Yeah.
We would actually be spoiled. But how hard, if we allow Americans to be spoiled like that, free everything, how hard do you think people gonna work?
They ain't.
So American
They ain't
suppression,
gonna work. Yeah.
and I can show people so much proof and stats, right? And what they'll do is they'll turn all of us against each other. So all of us think that somebody else is the problem, but really it's the billionaires and the politicians who's really suppressing Americans to keep you. Because look how much you earning now, right? You probably earn more now than you've ever earned, and you still got to be like watching your money, and you're making a lot of money, but you still have that
Yeah.
paranoia of, let me make sure I'm every dollar counting, and keep in mind, 29,000 internationally is wealthy. Internationally.
Yeah.
In America, it's the bottom of the barrel.
Yep.
If you made 29,000 in the Philippines, you that guy. You can take 29,000 to Thailand, some of these other, you can go to Africa with 20, you can go to some of these other countries with that same 20 and live a successful life and be the man. You can go to Colombia, Cuba, Dominican, you can go to all these different places with that same amount of money. In America, you feeling like you poor.
Yeah.
And like I said, we just got a crazy standard. But back to the original point is the technology that's growing is making our men and making people weaker over here. You even heard about the Adam's apples and testosterone levels?
Nah. What you talking about?
Most of the young guys now are not developing. You know how that used to be the thing. You'd be like, oh, you check the Adam's apple and
Yeah.
look people
Yeah.
Adam's
Yeah.
apple.
Yeah. 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 Especially if you're in
Now,
Taiwan.
yeah, you're not catching as many men with deep voices and big Adam's apples and stuff. Start looking at people's neck when you go around,
All right. I definitely will.
and look up the stats on testosterone levels in men. And a lot of people would think, oh, they can. But what we found out, because see, I'm 47. What we found out from every decade is previous decades conspiracy theories were true.
Mm.
Listen what I'm telling you now. It was every conspiracy theory that we heard about that was like maybe 15, 20 years old, they'd
Yeah.
be like, yeah, that's true. But we find out maybe the time lapse 15 to 20 years out. Oh, aliens. We've been hearing about aliens since the 60s and 70s.
Yep.
Guess what? In 2026, they're going to say, oh, yeah, yeah, we done
They've
found,
been around. They've been here.
they've been around.
Yeah.
So, uh, oh, did they do this? Did the government do this? Did the government do that? Did the government do this? And then we finding out, oh, yeah, all that happened. And I remind people, people predicted that this would happen. That's why we have a constitution. We got a constitution, not for the people, for the government.
Mm.
It's the control, so the government don't get out of control. Now that's
Yeah.
why they say, hey man, make sure y'all able to keep y'all rifles, pistols, and all of that. Because once they're able to say you can't protect, now they can run in your house and do whatever they want to.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Once we're not able to protect ourselves, and people don't realize how important that is. People think like that's just, oh, y'all just gun crazy. No, 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 no. You don't know how quickly a government can go from hero to villain if nobody is able to protect themselves. And oh, by the way, if somebody was to try to do an invasion in America, oh, you're going to have, I like the neighborhood I stay in right now.
Mm.
It looks peaceful on the exterior, but it's a lot of military people in this neighborhood. And guess what? The majority of houses at least got 5 guns apiece.
Yeah.
So when all of us go out there on New Year's and we talking and keying and all the guys like, yeah, I just bought this, I just got this. So literally they can come down this one block and there's all type of ammunition and people who actually use and practice with it. So you know how they say, mess around and find out. This would definitely, like, America is that place. Now you can go to another country and you can probably kick in doors and grab people, and
Yeah.
them people couldn't just blow your brains out. You
Yeah.
kick in my door, and I get to play with my toys. You kick
Yeah.
in my
Yeah.
door.
Your toys. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. I got these electric doors in here. I can tell the kids, hey, go on upstairs and get in the room like we practice, and then I can play with my toys. You
100%.
know, but these youngsters now are now enjoying technology so much that they're not doing anything physical. Like you can go in my neighborhood, right? Majority of the kids is in the house playing video games.
Mm.
What were we doing when we was young? We was riding bicycles.
I,
We
I
was
wasn't even allowed
laughing.
in the house till the street lights came on.
Man, what? And then we was
Yeah.
stinky, dirty, and every. Listen, man, we
And,
was
and then and, and then it,
wrestling.
it,
And
it came to a point, man. It's funny because me and my dad, we work together now, and we was talking about this the other day. It came to a point where I wouldn't even want to come into the house, and my dad, he could do this whistle, and if he does this whistle, I know I'm fucked. I'm in trouble. I'm getting my ass whooped. But he would come outside and do that whistle, and if he had to do it more than once, I'm getting my ass whooped as soon as I walk through the door. But
dang,
yeah, I wouldn't even.
even that, even discipline, right?
Yep.
Discipline in this country has, so you'll see kids having full blown arguments with their parents like it's two adults. It's not like
Yeah.
America has really reversed that whole standard of, discipline and having this household structure. The kids like it's out of control. I
Yeah.
I really feel bad for the teachers.
Yeah.
And we used to go do the recruiting thing and go to these high schools. And these high schools are like these
Off the
kids.
chain.
Listen, man,
Yeah.
I couldn't. I tell you, my hat goes off to these teachers, man,
Yeah.
because people send. And guess what? The difference with the parents back in the day, if a teacher called your parents, the parents were supporting the teachers.
Yep.
Now, guess what's happening? The parents are saying, no, 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 no. I'm gonna support my kid. Damn the teachers. And they ain't paying them teachers enough to be dealing with your badass kids.
Yeah.
So,
100%. Yeah.
sometimes I can listen to my own kid's story and feel like, mm, it's times the teacher could be wrong. But you know what I always remind them is it's your job, unless that teacher is doing
It's
something
your
crazy.
job to not even put yourself in that position in the first place.
Bingo. And get on the
100%.
same page with the teacher in the classroom, and you shouldn't be on their radar for nothing. Go in there, do your work, and get up out of there. Like, that
Yep.
ain't the place, for you to go and think that that's the recreation place for you to go have. That's not what school is for. The same way daddy go to work, the same way y'all supposed to go to school and take care
Yep.
of business.
Yep.
So now these youngsters are coming into the military with this entitlement because some of these women that they raising these little boys up and telling them from the time they 2 years old that you a king and you the prince of Egypt and you the greatest of all time. So now they come in the military, can't nobody tell them nothing to do.
Yep.
Nobody can give them no instructions and like, hey, go sweep this up, go clean this, or go paint this wall. I ain't doing that shit. It's like, what? Why? Because they've been able to do that with their parents.
Yep.
And like we were saying before, uh, them parents is so like throwing their hands up by the time they're 18 and 19 and realize, damn, I done messed my kids up, spoiling them. By the time the parents realize that, now their
It's
goal
too
is,
late.
oh, well,
Yep.
I'll send you in the military, they'll fix you. We'll send you in the army, they'll fix you. We'll send you in the Marines, they'll fix them and get them back right. Well, you didn't spend 18, 19 years with them, and you couldn't teach them values, you couldn't teach them decency, you couldn't teach them how to say yes sir, no sir.
Yeah.
Yes, you know, like the fact that you're negating your whole responsibility as a parent, and then you're gonna put that on the military. You're gonna say the military is gonna raise my child because I didn't. That's sad. And
That's
and like
crazy.
I tell
That's
you,
craziness, honestly.
well, and you go to these ships, so you think about everything that they had to do to go through boot camp just for them to get to the ships and be acting crazy. Like what?
Yeah.
Like, and I'm asking some, I'm like, what was your goal for coming in the military? Like, what did you want out the deal? Because my whole thing is this: if you come to me and you say, uh, what you need, Warren, and I say, man, I'm gonna take 4 years of your life. What do you want out the deal? You got to be like, well, I want education, I want this, I want some certifications, I want some on the job training so I can be better. I want this is what I want to be capable of doing. This is what I want to get from the military.
Hmm.
You ask these youngsters, they re-enlisting, and you're like, okay, you just gave the Navy 5 years. What are you going to do with that 5 years? What are you trying to get out of that next 5 years? They be like, well, I just want to make the next rank. I just want to make second class. I just want to make first class. And it's like, that's it? Like, what else do you want? Like,
Well,
if
and,
you don't
and,
have a,
and that too, like just even speaking on that,
mhm,
uh, and obviously, like we know it firsthand, especially now because we throw ideas back and forth all the time. You
mhm,
know what I'm saying? But even if that is just the goal, I just want to make the next rank. The other goal should be how do I prepare to get out? What happens if I do get in
Oh,
trouble and
absolutely.
I get kicked out? What happens if they go and they do the C waves and the fucking what was it called back in the day? PTS or STP or
Perform to
whatever.
serve. Yeah.
Perform to serve. And what happens if you're not hitting that mark and they're telling you, hey, you got 3 months and you're out of here? So why aren't you trying to prepare yourself, whether you're gonna make this a career or anything? You should always
Mhm.
still. It's funny because you had said something earlier about how like, hey, you need to take like 2, 3 years prior to pray that you're on shore command to start getting out, right?
Mhm.
When they fucked me over when my mother passed, I had already had a plan of getting out, what I'm going to do, where I'm going to go, what job I'm going to have, right? And I was able to execute it within a year because I had prepared
Yes.
the 15 years prior to. So
You
that's
already
the
had a
other thing
plan.
too. Like a lot of people think that the military is guaranteed. It is not a guarantee. And
Oh,
all it takes is for you to be in the fucking wrong place at the wrong time.
one bad incident.
One bad incident, and you might be sending your ass home. And you better have that goddamn plan because if you don't, you
Yeah,
are
you
fucked.
want military, you always one bad incident away from losing your career.
Yep.
That's all it takes.
Yep.
And the more senior you get, it could be indirectly. That's why I tell people about the triad and being like a CMC and stuff like that. A CMC could get blamed for something that his chief's mess is doing.
Yep.
You know, like you imagine being a CMC and they walk in there, hey CMC, and she like, yeah, how may I help you? Oh yeah, did you know four of your chiefs was selling cocaine or something crazy? Oh yeah,
Yep.
on the ship, and oh the fact that you didn't know about it. Oh, we got a loss of confidence. So
Yep.
those roles are very dangerous because not only from your own behavior, but you're in these positions where you can be blamed from the behavior of others. You
Yep.
know, whether you knew about it or you didn't know about it.
And
You
that
know,
that even ties in with what you're saying. Like, how do essentially we are the higher up in rank you go, you are more or less taking care of other people's children.
oh, absolutely,
So it's
oh,
like,
absolutely.
how do I raise this person to show up to the job on time, show up in the right uniform, do what is asked, and when they go home, we're not drinking and driving, we're not fucking going to the clubs and getting in shootouts and whatever the fuck else happens in Virginia and San Diego and Bremerton and every other base. Like I think that's a huge thing that is misconceived with the military is like we're raising children. And the reason why I say that too is so like my youngest son, he's athletically gifted, right?
Mhm,
And we have a, homecoming parade for football every year, um, where the first graders, the second graders, all the way up to the seniors are in this parade, right? And they're
mhm.
they're they're throwing out candy, and the coaches are giving kids candy to eat. And one of the coaches gave my son candy and looked at the coach and said, "Yeah, my dad said I can't eat that." And the coach came to me afterwards and was like, "Hey, I just want to commend you because however you have this kid trained." I gave him a piece of candy. He said he's not allowed to have it and threw it out to somebody else. And he was like, I've never seen a kid
With that discount.
with that discipline. With and now I'm in the community. I am helping coach and stuff, but that's where it starts at is my second grade son, who obviously just walked through the screen a couple times,
Mhm.
is disciplined enough to know, like, yeah, I don't eat candy unless my father gives it to me. I,
Yeah.
I don't use my phone for more than an hour a day. I'm not allowed to play video games all day. I have to clean my room. My room needs to look nice. I have to fold my clothes. Like that and even going back to what we were talking about at the beginning, like what was the or who came up with that in boot camp or why? I think it was because it breaks you down mentally to be like, okay, if I do this, this is, I don't know if you want to call it a reward or whatever the fuck. This is the achievement that I get. So just kind of throwing some of them things at you. I also want to talk about this too, because I just had a conversation with a guy the other day, and he was kind of bitching to me about, man, I got to take these orders if I want to make first class. We don't do a test no more. How you feel about that? Taking the tests away, and it's more of a, performance based to make rank now.
I would be in agreement with it if everybody was honest about performance. So,
Gotcha.
if everybody, if what we call truth and reporting, you'll hear that terminology amongst the khakis and stuff, truth and reporting. So, if everybody was honest about what you were and were not capable of,
Hmm.
then that would completely work because it would be performance based. So, imagine that, like, if we go back to WASP, there was departments that were failing their inspections, right? There was engineers and different people that was having to get re-inspected 2, 3, 4 times because stuff wasn't right. And it's like, oh, ATG got to come back to these people. They got to come back. Now, supply, we'll never get that type of grace.
Yeah.
But some of these other departments, they getting re-inspected, right? So which means if you didn't do it right the first few times, and we're judging you on your evaluation as a technical expert, right? Expertise. That's one of the
Hmm.
trait blocks. Well, I can never give you a 5.0 if you had to get re-inspected multiple times.
Mm.
But literally, the year that I cut like a 98 on my inspection, and some of the other department chiefs had failed their inspections, them guys beat me out on the ranking.
Mm.
And this stuff was, and when I went in there in the Chiefs mares, right? Because of course, Chiefs, we go in there and had an honest conversation with the Master Chiefs and stuff like that, because that's who's ranking us out, right? Nobody could provide me an answer, but they just write you off as being like, oh, and this is what they was telling me. Well, this guy, he fell out here the last time. And I'm like, literally, these people right now have failed the inspection.
Yeah.
They failed the command, and their department and division have to get re-inspected. They failed. So to get a passing grade, they got to do some of these evolutions over again. And that person beat me? How?
Yeah.
Guess what? Nobody can give you an answer. When it's a lie, or when you ask somebody something and the only thing that they're built on is built on a lie, nobody can give you an answer. Nobody's going to give you an answer. You know what they're going to tell you? Oh, well, the last ranking, well, this guy, we need enough
That shit used to
counselors
drive
or
me
something.
fucking nuts too. Like, oh yeah,
It's
we got
it's
we
the
got to give
dumbest
him an
lie.
EP because he had an EP last cycle.
Yeah,
No,
it's
you
the
don't.
dumbest
You just
lie.
have you just have to write down why you're knocking him down.
And
Why is
think
he
about it
getting
now.
knocked down to an MP?
I
Like,
mean, you supply, so you know how relevant the nay is for our community, right?
yep, yep.
The fact that I'm on this platform and we're #1 in the Navy, and I get beat by a guy, I get beat by multiple people who then failed inspections. The year I won the NA on the WAS, I was number 11 in the Chiefs mess.
Mm.
Why? Why? Because the CMC didn't like me. But the crazy thing was when people looked at, and I showed people the inspection results and all this different stuff, everybody was like, oh yeah. And everybody in the community knew who I was. Like my name was around Norfolk heavy.
Yep.
I didn't go nowhere and be nobody's bum, ever. There's nobody who can say, oh man, this was one of the laziest. Ain't nobody gonna tell you that about Donnie Townsend. Nowhere in Norfolk that he was lazy. They might say
Yeah.
he tried to work the shit out you, but ain't nobody gonna tell you, oh, that's a
Yeah.
guy that's gonna sit on his hands or not try to do shit the right way or shit like that. And I was taking some of these worst commands to crack houses. I
Mm.
remember on the Bush, right? Remember, we had to do a Navy Food Management Team assessment while the freezers was going up and down. And
Yep.
I told Suppo and them, I said, well, how the hell we gonna get an accurate inventory when every few days we moving food from freezers that's going down all the way up to the hangar bay, and we're losing stuff, and we trying to keep track of this, and we here to 8, 9 o'clock at night stacking and restack on the aircraft carrier.
Yeah.
And I was told by him and the XO, well, we're not worried about the Navy food management team, but you think about it, that's your professional reputation. And guess what? Inventory, we had to take that hit on that. So now you got people looking at us like, damn, on the bush, oh, they inventory was not knowing the true
Damn, Donnie
story.
over there fucking up.
Yeah,
Donnie's
yeah.
fucking up.
But that's how our community is. They're
Yeah.
oh man, not knowing that this ship is actually we got Connex boxes in the hangar bay, and we
Yep.
literally moving back and forth down and you know where them freezers are on the aircraft carrier.
Oh yeah. All the way at
And
the
so
bottom. All the way at
yeah,
the
and
bottom.
I'm saying this for context for people watching. You got to walk all of this food up and back and forth down these ladder wells, up and down, up and down, up and down, and then do it again. Oh, because the freezer's working, and then a week later, it's not working again. We got next thing you know, you ain't got control over that inventory no more. You just don't. And then when I
Yeah.
start hooting and hollering, they're gonna act like, oh, Warren's going crazy. Oh, Warren's flipping out. And I'm showing people this equipment, and I'm showing people all these pictures, and they're acting like I'm the bad guy. And literally, now, and I'm gonna tell you the craziest part of the story. The minute everything hit the fan, the investigation happened, and I sent all of these reports to the congressman. Guess what? All of them ovens on the bush, all of that stuff, they start trying to fix it. The
Yep.
minute I sent up that congressional, all of a sudden, all of this stuff, all of this money that people told me wasn't there, the minute the ship started getting all of this negative press,
That shit
all
started
of a
showing
sudden,
up. That money started showing
man,
up.
they replaced we had six, you know how long we was operating with
Oh, I remember. I remember.
six ovens out of 22. The minute everything hit the fan, boom, next thing you know, hey, sir, Davis and all of them was sending me text message. Hey, sir, they fixing everything right now.
Yeah.
And I said, oh yeah, sir, they didn't went and found some money. I said, well, look at there. Whole time they been acting like I'm crazy.
And not only that, not only did we get new ovens, we got the brand new ovens that was cleaning themselves, doing all this fancy shit. You fucking throw the
and
tab in there and that bitch clean.
think about it. The shit had to hit the fan for them to start getting that. And think, this is the shit they saying ain't no money there, right?
Yep.
It's not. We can't fix none of this stuff. We can't do it. And the engineers, they're
oh, they found
they found some money.
money. Come on now.
They found that. Listen, they found that money quick as hell, didn't they?
Yeah. 100%. 100%.
So by the time old boy get there, right? Everybody, the guy that replaced me, everybody's looking at it, and they're feeling like, oh, well, maybe. But if you know how jobs work, jobs don't work that quick. So now he's checking in, and everything's getting fixed, not knowing that, yeah, this is from the shit show and these fights from the last 24 months that I'd have been over here catching hell with all of these bullshit and all of these bullshit khakis over here, this engineering department and everybody else. And now everybody that's there now is acting like, oh, we're getting this. We're doing this.
Yeah.
And that's the
reaping the
weird
benefits
shit.
of the work prior to. Reaping the benefits.
But the crazy thing is the sailors was calling me.
Yeah.
They was like, sir, that the whole time you was arguing and fighting for them. And guess what? Soon as you they're fixing, they're hurrying them, trying to fix everything now. And they got some money.
Yeah.
Like, man, because here's the thing. I was ready to go to the news.
Yeah.
I literally was like, well, these guys want to act like this, and this, and that CEO, he was acting like I was exaggerating or overreacting, and I was just being like this asshole, and do you think you did anything wrong? And I told them absolutely not. Do what y'all got to do to me, but absolutely not. I'm not wrong in no type of way. It was like, what do you take credit for out of this whole? I was like, nothing. Do what y'all got to do. Write me up. Motherfucker, get me out the middle. Whatever y'all got to do it.
Yeah.
I don't operate out of fear like that, where they want you to be scared, and these senior officers, they want to be able to walk up and puff their chest out, and then you like, oh my. But I'm looking at these little bitty guys like, man, I'll smack blood out your face. You know, and the fact that you think that outfit makes you like this dominant figure to scare, I, I don't have that spirit of fear. Not a lot of people do, and that ain't just because of my size. I'm just not scared like that.
Yeah.
And you know, some of them will walk around and the CO that was on the Ford, little bitty guy, but he used to be walking up on people like trying to scare them, and it's like, man, don't that guy know somebody throw him in that water, man, little as he is. And he got that little guy complex. Somebody, man, somebody will beat the life out of you,
That
man.
Napoleon syndrome.
Yeah, and it's like people in the military, they get this rank and they feel like the rank is like they're this superhero. Man, I'll punch you in your chest, man. You like, what are you talking about? You know, like don't pretend to be tough because you got on a Navy uniform. Because
Yeah.
the minute you're talking crazy to me and we really get to throwing some hands, you're running down to security. So don't even play tough. If you're not that guy, you're not that guy. Don't pretend to be something because if you're gonna act
And
like
if you're not that guy, there's nothing wrong with it either. Be you.
yeah, what?
Be you. Just be
Right.
you.
Guess what?
Yeah.
If I could have grew up in a nonviolent atmosphere and grew up as a rich, affluent kid, I would have loved it. But that ain't how I came up.
Yeah.
You know, but I can tell when people are pretending. Like
Yeah.
that ain't something that, and a lot of people want to pretend like they're tough, and then I can tell because real tough people don't do all that talking, man. They be ready to go.
They about that action, boss.
Yeah, they about that
Off the rip.
straight action.
Off
And
the
but
rip.
that's the difference with the military that when I came in, right? You talk about the 90s and 2000s. If you talk crazy to somebody on a ship, you had to be ready to stand on that.
Yeah.
And if you weren't prepared to stand on what you was talking about, because we had what you call get right rooms and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
weren't prepared to stand on what you was talking about,
Them
man,
storeroom conversations.
somebody
Yeah.
beat the brakes off of you. So if don't play like that with none of us
You
from
know
that
what's
area.
you know what's funny too, and just out of just being honest here, that happened to me the first time I tried to buck up on somebody. That's how I learned I got to be tough in this bitch because I got my ass whooped bad, bad, like to a point where I ain't go to mess decks for like a whole week because I didn't want people to see my eye all black, and I was like, yeah, this ain't never gonna happen again. So
Hey,
I
hey,
learned from that situation. I learned like if you talk reckless to me, I'm not speaking. I'm going straight. As a matter of fact, even on the bush, man, you know how them cats was on the bush. Everybody think they this and that. Everybody gangster and everybody a rapper and everybody. Man, I remember one time, man, they caught me in the berthing, and they were trying to, we call it Joan. They were trying to Joan on me in the berthing, and I said, all right, do something. And one person did something. And I got the video still too. I choked him out, and I thought I killed him, and I freaked
hey.
out. I'm like, yo, grab him, put his legs up. I freaked out because I put him to sleep, but
Mm.
that motherfucker body started shaking like this, and I said, oh boy, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. Like
Hey, matter
I
of
ain't just
fact,
getting kicked out. I'm going to jail. I'm going to prison.
we was fighting so much on Truman. And shout out to everybody from the Harry S. Truman who know from that timeline, 2000, from 2000 to 2004. I
Yeah.
had so many different fights on there, right? Uh, we was known for that. And then my nickname on the ship, and that's how I can tell where people know me from, because my nickname on that ship was Tebow. So people started calling me Tebow.
Yeah.
And people used to be like, well, where did that name come from? That's what they start like Debo, but they was calling me Tebow,
Yeah.
you know? And man, I'm talking about, my temper was horrible when I came in
Yeah.
because my thing is I didn't realize certain people just like to talk tough. Like I didn't make that connection like you're just talking. So
Yeah.
I took everybody for face value when you got loud and started cussing then I'm like, oh, you want to throw hands.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was my whole. So everybody who pretended like that, hey,
Damn, Tebow, my grandmama gave me that chain.
yeah, yeah, we about to mix it up. Then you talk. I didn't care what rank you was or whatever. We gonna mix
Yeah.
it up. Let's do that
Yeah.
because that's the language. The language of like if you're from a city like Detroit, Chicago, Los Angeles, Philadelphia, that's the language of violence. A lot of people speak that language.
Yep.
And here's the thing: you want to know who right? Whoever won.
Yep.
Whoever won was right, and whoever
Yep.
lost was wrong.
Yep.
That's how we settled a lot of problems. So it was like the rank didn't do nothing for me because it was like if y'all you wanna throw blows, oh, I'm good at that. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, you
Yeah.
know. And I
100%.
probably in Detroit, I'm probably middle of the row of the fighters from the city. But
Yeah.
here in the military, oh, most of these guys ain't what their hand
Yeah.
skills is not like we got people in Detroit who really like there's people who's not even professional boxers, but they and people know them. Like, man, this guy hands is phenomenal. It's
Yeah.
people down there who we grow up as kids. If you kind of know the street kids, we slap box and everything for fun.
Yeah.
So we grew up, testing hand speed and slap boxing and doing all of that, body slamming each other for fun. That was
Yeah.
recreation. So coming in the military and somebody saying something, you slapping them real quick, before they even realize what happened. Like, did he just, yeah, I just slapped you. Now what?
Yeah.
And that
What you gonna do
was,
about it? Yeah.
yeah, when we first came in the military, early 2000s, that was the acceptable standard. Somebody talking crazy. And me, most of my fights in cargo and in the galley was when I was trying to get people to do work.
Yep.
Them FSAs and cooks, them youngsters talk crazy. Oh, F you, I ain't doing this. And F, I ain't taking, because, everything was about, man, soon we finish up, we can go home. So some of these youngsters like, I ain't taking out no more of that trash. You take that shit out. And I'd be like, what? What? I'm
Yeah.
talking about paint your face up something fast. And some of the best, after you whoop their ass, man, some of
They
the
become
best
your best
sailors out
friends.
there,
Yeah. They become your
man,
best friends, and
they
they'll do
become,
whatever you want them to do.
what? They become, listen, Sailor's Creed, ah, every unite, I will support the,
Chest
what?
high, chin up.
What? They become phenomenal sailors after them ass whoopings.
Yeah.
And it wasn't personal. It wasn't like the next day that I won't talk to you and interact with you. Matter of fact, here's what's crazy, honey. You a MS, you a MS, and I didn't fought you yesterday. I'm still gonna somebody talking shit to you tomorrow. I'm still gonna have your back tomorrow.
Yeah. Yep.
That's how MS's was. Like we could fight each other and have these conflicts, but nobody else, because it's like, oh no, that's my little brother right there. You ain't about to play with him like that. What'd he
Yep.
say? You arguing with somebody, and I'm like, what'd he say? What? What? What's going on? Oh no, Tebow. No. You better let that one go.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, you need to end that conflict. Whatever y'all arguing about, you need to end that one.
Look,
And then be thinking,
I ain't gonna say no names, but shout out to my man Boomby because he was like that. My boy Boomby did not give a fuck.
yeah. Me, McCoy,
And he was
all
a
of them.
first class. He was a first class.
We
That
ain't
boy.
play about them junior cooks, man.
Anybody that knows who I'm talking about, you comment his name in the comments. But that boy Boomby did not give a fuck. He was quick with the hands too.
Quick, man. We sliced you up, and it was multiple of us, the cooks in there who put it on you, man. All the females, them was like our little sisters in that
Yep.
galley. So you couldn't be talking and playing with them crazy because they'd be like, oh, I'm gonna go get my brother. You know who their brother is, one of them cooks in there. And we
Yep.
gonna come out there and we already tired from being in that galley all day. So we looking to take that anger out on
Yep.
somebody.
Yep.
Like who said what?
100%.
Like, hey man, you said something to my sister, man. you know, and like I said, it was just, the cooks, it was a family, man. And most of us from the Truman, we're still in contact to this day, man.
Yeah.
Now, did I have them same relationships on every platform after that? But no, but that
Yeah.
first command, Truman, that was a unique place, man. And like them my brothers and sisters still to this day,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah. Let's
100%.
go ahead and wrap up, man.
You go hit him with the what you got for him. We go cut it. Cut it.
Yeah, time to cut it out, man.